Here is what we are tracking in the High Definition newsroom this Wednesday morning. In about an hour, the union that represents instructors at all 23 campuses of the California State University will announce if its members have voted to authorize a strike. The California Faculty Association and CSU have not been able to agree on a new contract. The issue is pay. The university has offered a 2% raise. Faculty have asked for 5%. A spokeswoman for CSU says the university is working on the assumption that instructors have voted to authorize a strike, and it has plans that would keep classes running, although she did not say what they are. The union says a yes vote would not actually mean the beginning of a strike. It would just give the union permission to call one at some point if the negotiation process breaks down. Nobody is doing any bargaining right now. The two sides are in mediation. A 3-member mediation panel is gathering information for a report it'll issue in a couple of weeks that will suggest a solution. But that's all it will be, a suggestion. The university and the union can go with the mediator's idea, restart negotiations, or the university can legally impose its 2% payoff offer and declare the situation resolved. At that point, the union would have to decide whether to strike, and if so, how to conduct that strike across all 23 campuses, or in stages, or staggered by campus. The union says it does not want a strike, but that instructors' pay has stagnated for the past decade, while CSU has bulked up on mid-level managers and raised the pay of its top executives. CSU says it has to spend the limited money it has, including $97 million the legislature added to the budget this year, on enrolling more students, on facilities maintenance, and on new technology. CSU faculty will stage a demonstration outside the next meeting of the CSU trustees, which will be at Long Beach State on November 17th. And here's your High Definition News full disclosure. This reporter is a part-time instructor at Cal State Long Beach. A lot of Americans cast votes yesterday, and here's what they decided. San Franciscans rejected a measure that would have placed limits on short-term rentals, which are handled by firms like Airbnb. In Houston, voters repealed an anti-discrimination ordinance that the city council approved 6 months ago to protect gay, lesbian, and transgender people. Much of the attention and the emotion of the campaign was focused on the T in LGBT. Jared Woodfill campaigned to repeal the ordinance.
This ordinance allowed biological males, even registered sex offenders, who on any given day identified as a female, to go into a female restroom, shower, or locker room. If that business owner said no, that business owner could be prosecuted. We thought that was just plain wrong.
This was a campaign of fear-mongering and deliberate lies.
Houston's mayor, Anise Parker, who is lesbian.
Deliberate lies. This isn't misinformation. This is a calculated campaign of lies designed to demonize a little understood minority.
In Ohio, voters said no to legalizing marijuana for medicinal and recreational purposes, and Kentucky elected its first Republican governor in 40 years, giving the Republicans every governorship in the old Confederacy except Virginia, and Democrats maybe a little bit of a queasy feeling looking down the road a bit. And speaking of 2016, the once leading and now second-place Republican presidential candidate was back home in New York yesterday for the publication of his latest book. Donald Trump's latest book is called Crippled America: How to Make America Great Again, and it's the 18th he's written or co-written. 18 books. That's only one more than William Faulkner wrote. Anyway, since that Sunday night meeting at which representatives of the candidates agreed on the conditions they demand for future debates, Trump has decided to negotiate his own debate deals with the networks.
I don't really care that much. I want a room, I want a podium, and let's get going.
Of course, if it were up to Trump, there would not be anyone up there on the stage to debate against.
Do I think it's time to have some of the other Republican candidates drop out? Yes. I think Marco is highly overrated. Ben Carson does not have that energy. I think beating Hillary Clinton is going to be easy. My Jeb impression? No, I don't want to do that. I don't like showing a person sleeping at a podium.
369 days and 15 hours until the polls open. And just remember, not even one single primary or caucus vote has been cast anywhere. LA County supervisors will vote next week on a plan they hope will cut down on child sex trafficking. One of the tactics of the plan is public shaming, much like back in the days of colonial America, where people who'd done wrong were placed in stockades in the town square to be ridiculed. Under Supervisor Don Knabe's proposal, people convicted of soliciting sex, Johns, and people convicted of loitering with the intent to solicit sex would have their names and booking photos posted on a county website.
Shame the Johns. Put them out there, expose them. If you're a successful businessman or an entertainment artist or somebody else and you're caught and your picture's out there, it's going to have a dramatic impact. We work very hard to protect the victims, and there's no such thing as a child prostitute. They're victims. We work very hard to go after the scumbag pimps.
Supervisor Sheila Kuehl says, hold on a second.
We might be vulnerable to any kind of litigation because it's still a case. It could be overturned on appeal, and therefore this person would not be convicted, but they would have been posted on the website.
Another part of the county plan is to spend $3.2 million on housing and safe houses for victims of child sex trafficking. Also in the news today, Long Beach has posted a cash reward for information leading to the arrest of whoever murdered a Long Beach police officer 40 years ago. It was in 1975 that Officer Frank Lewis was murdered as he attempted to assist someone who was being beaten in a car in Long Beach. Long Beach Police Chief Robert Luna posted a reward of $50,000. They are going over the evidence again, and Mayor Garcia and Chief Luna are hoping the City Council will vote to add $25,000 to that reward for a total of $75,000. That'll be at the meeting next week. One of the nurses who cared for Whitney Houston's daughter, Bobby Christina Brown, at a hospice in Atlanta earlier this year, has been arrested because it turns out she was not a nurse at all. She had no license anywhere in the United States to practice being a nurse. Although Bobby Christina was in a coma and would not have recovered, say her doctors, that's still an offense. We've been reporting on the problems with airbags made by the Japanese manufacturer Tanaka for more than a year now. Those airbags can explode, sending shrapnel flying toward the driver and the front seat passenger. It is more likely to happen in humid climates than here in Southern California. But nonetheless, 7 people have been killed in such incidents. 98 people have been hurt. Millions of cars and trucks, 19 million, have been recalled for a free repair, but drivers have taken only a small percentage of those in for repair. Now the federal government is cracking down on Tanaka even further, imposing conditions on the company's business and saying it will fine the company millions and millions of dollars if it doesn't accelerate the repair program. And we learned today also that Tanaka's biggest customer, Honda, said yesterday it would no longer buy airbags from Tanaka. Hold on a second. You mean they've been buying airbags from Tanaka this whole time? The multi-million-dollar settlement of a lawsuit that accused LA's Department of Water and Power of overcharging customers was supposed to end with a judge's approval yesterday of cash refunds to hundreds of thousands of people who had been overcharged. But that judge said, hold on a second, not good enough. The two sides have been sent back to the bargaining table to come up with a settlement that's even more generous to customers. High-definition news. Storm panic, don't panic.
Oh my God!
Storm panic, don't panic. Storm panic, don't panic. Oh my God! Yes, it was windy yesterday and cool, and in some places in Southern California even experienced a few drops of rain. While the TV stations grabbed their neon-colored parkas, fired up their 12-box live shots, and declared themselves on storm watch, the real story was happening hundreds of miles away in the Sierra Nevada, which saw a foot of snow yesterday. Those 12 inches of snow are the best signs so far that El Nino will deliver what California desperately needs, a Sierra snowpack that can make a dent in the 4-year drought. Do you have a dog? Do you like sugarless gum? Well, then you have a problem, because much of the gum and the candy and even the peanut butter in your pantry closet is made with a food additive called xylitol. Xylitol, we're told today, is poisonous to your dog. It can cause seizures and vomiting and, worst of all, kidney failure. It's always listed on the list of ingredients on the products, and the ASPCA says calls to its poison hotline have increased from only a few in 2004 to almost 3,700 last year. And the reason is xylitol. So if you're looking for a way to keep your dog healthy and alive, xylitol, XYLITOL. Look for that on the list of ingredients of the foods in your pantry. Keep your dog safe. Now you know what we know. I'm Jeff Kaufman, High Definition News.